Good afternoon, my little YouTubles. It's been a hot minute, and I'll tell you more about that in the upcoming video, which was actually filmed on Valentine's Day, I think, maybe the day after. I've just been so busy I couldn't get it edited and posted, but today I have, which is actually March 6th, so today I have some time. And I'm so thankful and happy that I can get this video edited you're about to watch from Valentine's Day. And then I'll release another one tomorrow that's going to pick up and show you what I'm actually about to record today. So I don't know if you can follow with me on that timeline and anything, but anyway, great to see you guys. Stand by. Here we go. YouTubles. It's Kevin with the Kevin and Anna Flipping and Flopping Show. It has been quite a while since I've created and posted a video. And obviously there's reasons behind that, and I'll tell you about it. But today, happy Valentine's Day, February 14th. I hope all of you are enjoying a Valentine's Day, and I hope your weather's better than we've got it here in Western North Carolina. But I am a part-time reseller, flipper, investor, and flopper. Yes, there are things I buy that flop, that I can't resell, but I think that happens to all of us. Today, what I want to do, because I've been so distant, is, I've already started a little bit, is work on the garage. I mean, you can see, I leave the garage door up a lot, and you can see leaves are everywhere. So that's the next thing I'm going to do, is I'm going to kind of sweep up and tidy up the garage. Super excited about that. And then I'll go ahead and show you this. We had a lot of storage stuff up here that I decided I'm going to take to the basement. And we have some basement storage. We can't access it all the time, so I try not to put things that we might need in a pinch down there. But I think I'm okay with where we're at. And so what I've done is obviously freed up this much inventory space. And up here, you'll notice mostly larger empty boxes, or boxes that haven't been broken down. I don't prefer to break the boxes down, just because it's so easy to grab them and look at them. You know, they're recycled boxes that other things have been shipped to other people in, and so they're not always just a standard size box like you would order to know exactly what your inventory box size would be. But here's another exciting little thing that I've done. I don't know when. It's probably been a week or two ago. But these are all empty boxes that are ready for shipping as well. And I've decided to dedicate this shelf and put as much on there as I could, that I could still easily access, but kind of get it up. It was all just a huge stack of random boxes here and some boxes on the shelf. So yeah, I'm excited about that. It frees up space. Excuse me. It takes inventory space, because I could use the shelf for inventory. But at the same time, I mean, you know, our packaging products are our inventory, so we've got to make room for that. But today, after I kind of get the garage a little more straightened up and I'm feeling a little more friendly and homely, I'm going to unveil some stuff. Now, this has been a big purchase that I made, and it's all in here. There's over 1,200 items in here, and I'm super stoked to see what they're going to go for. Currently, you can't find hardly any sold items for this product on eBay. So there's a couple websites I'm going to reference where you can go back and look historically further than what eBay will show you. And I'm going to do some more research to see where I'm at and what I've got and what I can expect, and shoot for the stars and hope we at least make it to the moon. So yeah, it's good to be back, guys. I apologize for such a long time since my last video. But with that said, it may be, with my current situation, it may be quite a while longer before I can put out the next video. We'll see. But the reasoning behind all of it is my primary job, I'm an IT guy, and my primary role at my job has taken a pretty big shift lately. Used to be I would sit at my desk and do everything remotely, and I'd start at 7:30 and work through lunch and get off at 3:30. Well, things changed, and I opted in to take another position within my company, still doing IT work, troubleshooting, blah, 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 but now I'm more of a guy who is on the road as much or probably more than I'm at home. And so along with that came the responsibility of scheduling all of our trouble tickets that needed to be where we go on site. So that is very time consuming and cumbersome, and I'm not going to get into details there, but my work hours for that job increased dramatically. Hence, eBay has and YouTube have been on hold, or at least kind of stagnant for a while. Thankfully, I have enough items in my eBay store that sales have continued. Slowly, but sales have continued. And I've sold so much stuff since my last video, I don't even think I'm going to try to touch on that. Let me see. It's raining and I see some raindrops on the camera. Bear with me here. See if we can gently get those wiped off without making too much of a mess of the lens. Alright, I don't know. But anyway, so I haven't been able to list anything, which always messes with your eBay store and your algorithm and how much you're selling. But that's okay. You got to make sacrifices at times in life, and eBay and YouTube have unfortunately had to be my sacrifice. Because not only my primary job, that role change and the hours that I have to commit and everything, which, by the way, I'm expecting that will settle down in the next 2 weeks or so. We'll see how things go. But I'm hoping that it'll settle down and I can get back into more of a kind of 9 to 5 routine per se. But another job that I have has been really time consuming here recently as well, and that's been the kicker. Is like, I would put in so many hours at my primary position, but then I'd have 2 or 3 hours at one of my part-time jobs that I would have to deal with stuff. Most of that's all behind the desk, administrative kind of paperwork stuff, but either way, it still, took up a lot of time. So nonetheless, I am glad to be back, and I hope you guys are glad to see me. All 3 of you, maybe 2, maybe just my mom. But anyway, I'm going to work on the garage here, and I will give you guys some updates shortly. Stay tuned for that unveiling because it's exciting. Did I get it? I got it. All right, so feeling good about this. it's not like a white glove deep down cleaning, but taking the broom and just getting rid of all of those, not all, you can see there's still leaves under stuff, but getting rid of the majority of the leaves that had blown in here, that's just awesome. It kind of, to a certain degree, gives you a motivation to get back in the saddle and keep going. So, very excited about that. So, before we get into the unveiling, I wanted to show you one item I haven't been sourcing at all, except the other day I was at one of my clients and I had to wait around for about 15 to 30 minutes to see if the problem was actually fixed. And so they were in a strip mall, and just next to that strip mall was a Habitat for Humanity restore. So I decided to pop in there and I poked around and I found this Igloo cooler for $1. Now, what's good about these, if you don't know, is you can, obviously you can look at it and tell it's vintage, but you can check the dates on them. Let's see if the camera will focus enough. Here you see an 8-6 going in this direction. So this was manufactured in, right there, that little line, in the 3rd month, so March of 1986. Let me kick the camera around a little bit to show you. So these vintage coolers, they're not highly sought after, but they're pretty solid sales. I mean, and I paid $1 for it. I'll easily list it for $14.99. It may be take an offer of 13 or whatever, but you know, at the end of the day, it's easy. I've already found a perfect box for it, so you know, I'll make $10 on that. Hang tight. One other thing I wanted to show you, magic erasers. Those things work so good. This has got stains on it that'll never come off, at least not with any of my limited intelligence. But the magic eraser that I used cleaned this thing up so good. I mean, it had a dingy brown, not brown, but you know what I mean. It had a dingy kind of look to it, and that magic eraser worked wonders for that. So that's exciting. Also, what's exciting is it came off during the cleaning, but this was the original sticker that came on it back in, what was it, 88, 86, whatever. And so I'll make sure that I get that photoed, and it will go with the cooler for whoever buys it. And I'll just drop it down inside of there, leave it for them. Voila. All right, I'll be right back. Got colder. Had to bundle up a little bit more. Still very dreary outside, but the rain has eased off, so that's cool. Let me unveil this for you. Super excited, somewhat nervous, somewhat anxious. I've done my research to find out values on a website. Pardon me. But unfortunately, the website with your free trial only gives you the opportunity to look up 7. And because I have 1,200 of these, over 1,200 apparently, I've never even counted them. But because I have over 1,200 of these, I looked at what they were doing in bigger lots. Some are painted, some are not painted. I looked at a couple of variations on that to see if that played into it. I picked a few older dates, like 2012, and I also picked a newer date of one that had sold, or a lot that had sold in 2019. That one was much more promising than the rest of them. So what is it, right? That's the big question. We are looking at these 2 tubs. That one got beat all to pieces. There's some books for them. And then there's tons of them in these bags as well. But these are late 70s or early 80s uh, Napoleonic War 15 millimeter lead soldiers. Or I also have horses, and I also have cannons, and I have so many various things here. And as you can see, the previous owner thankfully labeled this stuff. So assuming it hasn't been mixed up, I can give pretty good detail on my listings about what they are. Apparently these cannons are really valuable. Now I haven't, oh, look, that one fell apart. Now I haven't priced them, the cannons specifically, but according to the buyer, according to the seller I bought them from, they're pretty valuable. Now the buyer that I bought them from wasn't the original owner. But even here, you can see on the bottoms of some of these, 2 TRP, 1 squadron, 2 troop, 1 squadron, 1st reg, RLG, I don't know, reg maybe, RLG, what's that stand for? I don't know. But yeah, so again, I mean, I have got, here's another one for instance. These are unpainted. But I have got so many of these things. Okay, there's a bummer. Like that one doesn't have a label on it. Maybe I can figure something out. 1 of 95. 2 of 95 and 21 of 95. So there's a huge task at hand here, guys, for me to be able to figure this stuff out. Brigade officers. And you can see, like, this guy, they're lead, so they're soft metal, right? So let's put these guys side by side. And you can see, oy, and you can see the staffs are bent in different directions. Now, I will not mess with that. I will let the new buyer, if they want to mess with that, do that. Look, this little guy fell off his horse. But they're pretty meticulously painted. I mean, little tiny paint strokes in there to show different different markings on their uniforms. There's more. I mean, it just goes on and on and on and on and on. Look at all these horsey guys. So, some painted, some not. That's a big one. Let's see what that is. Oh, that could be something. Got a bugle blower, a guy with a sword, and a guy with a staff. Oh. But anyway, so, I mean, you can see, like I said, I mean, I've just got so much, drawer after drawer after drawer of these things. Thankfully, a lot of them, even the unpainted ones, I think he's got labeled as to what they are or what they were. Not painted there. But just got a lot to go through here, a lot to figure out. And also, thankfully, the guy had these books, and I am told and can believe and assume that the uniforms were painted according to what these books show. Now, Osprey Men-at-Arms series. I don't know that this is Osprey Men-at-Arms, but I don't think it is. But these books were used to model the Osprey Men-at-Arms soldiers. And the books are in rough shape, but as you can see, they're published in 1979, copyrighted. Most of them are early 70s, I'm sorry, late 70s, early 80s, but it's going to take some research on my part to do some verification and make sure that what I'm selling is actually, how they're labeled, because, there's human error in everything, and things could be labeled wrong. I've also got a tiny bit of inventory, which this is pretty much useless. Got, I think, over 1,200 soldiers, and that might encompass maybe 100 of them. And then there's also these printouts that were given to me, which I believe came straight out of these books, like from a copying machine or something. So I don't know that, or maybe it was just extra stuff that he didn't have a book for, and so I'll be using that to cross-reference things and to hopefully identify and verify what I'm selling. So, where do I go price-wise? That's the big question. And with only having limited access to find out what the old and post sales have been, I'm still somewhat at a loss. And so I think after I get them all kind of pulled out and separated and set up on a shelf, I think I might, because I may find like one drawer has the same thing as another drawer, so I'll probably group those lots together. And then, because I have this awesome setup right here, oh look, one of my unicorn boxes fell. But anyway, because I have this cool setup right here with all these shelves, this is where I'll start, and I'll just start lining them up and putting their little cards with them and all of that good stuff. So I don't know if anything will get listed today or not. Sorry, I don't know if anything will get listed today or not, but at least the sorting side of it's going to get started so I can move forward with it. So, what did Kevin pay for all of these figures? Well, I did a lot of negotiating online. This was a Facebook marketplace ad that I posted, and I said, "I'll buy your collection." Well, this was one of the ones that got back to me and said, "We have all of this. Are you interested?" And I thought, yeah. Quick searches on eBay said yes, definitely could be interested here, and we negotiated. They were at around, I think, 500, and I walked away with them for $235. I'm hoping that I'll at least double my money on this. It's a lot of work, so I really want to do more than double. So let's just shoot for the stars here. Maybe I'll make gross profit on reselling all of these. Maybe I'll make $1,000, and then at that point, subtracting out all of the eBay fees and the cost involved and, the shipping materials and stuff, that would probably put me at about a $700 profit. And I'd be cool with that. It's too much work for $700, to be honest with you. It's not a quick flip. But you never know. Things could go better than that. Or because I can't really do a ton of research on this, historically, how they've sold, it may not go that well. But we'll see. Anyway, I'm going to get to sorting, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Holy moly, I'm cold. All right. Things have been sorted, and I'm still overwhelmed and at a loss on where to start and what to do. But let me show you what we've got. We'll come back to this. Thank God whoever did this labeled things, and I hope those labels are correct. But over here, as you can see, I have all the little drawers pulled out. And for the ones that were labeled brigade officers, third whatevers, first and seconds in here, and all of that, I moved those labels out to the outside of the box so I could easily identify them and at least hopefully do a little research. But to be honest with you guys, this might be so overwhelming that it's like, this is what the previous owner labeled them as. Make sure you know what you're ordering. These down here are labeled, but this says miscellaneous castings. Okay, so we've got various things there. Miscellaneous command groups. And then I have bags that haven't been painted. I mean, they have been painted, but there's absolutely no labels in there. These haven't been painted, and there's no labels in there. And so you can see what I'm up against here. Unpainted, no label. That kind of stuff may get lighted up. But I feel good about where I'm at with sorting through this and pulling it out. And I'm going to tell you, these little drawers are lifesavers. At first I was thinking I would just set them up, and I would just line them up and, put the label down in front of them. And I was like, don't be stupid, Kevin. You've got containers here. Let's use them. So I'm using them. Now, back to what I was showing you here earlier. A lot of these, like these are horse riders, okay? But they haven't been broken off of the original lead casting, okay? But it tells me that these are France 2nd Dragoon Red dismounted, whatever, okay. And that flows throughout. Some of these have been completely painted and are not on the original casting. Some of them have been painted on the original casting, and some of them have not been painted at all. But all of these are labeled. And so from France all the way up through here, and then France comes down to here. And then I've got Saxony in these two locations. And then I've got Austria all the way up and down through here. These three columns are all Austria. And then for whatever reason, I've got some Russians over here just straggling. It's the only Russian thing I've found. But nonetheless, I haven't researched and went through it all. But I also have these random bits and bops that I think he was going to use or had started to use and didn't end up using them. Another side note is I've got a few more of these that will definitely be utilized because these are great things for sorting small items. And The original like green casings, one of them was blown apart. I don't know if you noticed it, but it was just like blown apart. And so I'm not gonna keep that. I'm gonna toss it. What do we got here? Unicorn Misfits. Them Unicorn Misfits. What's this? Uni pair. So that would have went here, and somebody, probably myself. Don't drop it. Probably myself knocked it. And then we've got some Unicorn Misfits there. But anyway, don't even know what I was about to say. Oh, things are labeled. Oh, I know what it was. Okay, so here, this whole area of trays has not been labeled. There's no labels on them, but as you can see, like there's little things written on the bottom of some of them. And so that could help me in the big scheme of things. But we'll see how all that goes. So I want to take some time and move all of this. I just laid it out here to show you guys. But I'm going to take some time to move all of this in segregated areas. Austria, poor little Russia over there by itself, and France and whatnot, and keep them where they're visible, right? But just move them over to the shelving area and separate them out. And yeah, that's going to be it for the day. My toes are cold. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And stay tuned, because I'm excited to see what happens with these listings. And I will keep you updated as things transpire. But you guys have a fabulous day. Thanks so much for watching. Like, subscribe, check those bells and those boxes and all that jazz that all the other eBayers say we're supposed to say and we're supposed to do. And I appreciate you. I'll see you next time.